Let's cut to the chase. This game is amazing. Thanks to the Warner Bros. Team and TT Games, I was able to fly out to Gamescom and play the new LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight early. And it was a blast. I do want to apologize, this video and the next one aren't going to be as high quality as my normal uploads, as I'm still in Cologne at Gamescom until the end of the week, so I am working off of a cheap laptop and my phone. I'm currently under a blanket recording all this audio, but hopefully it's not too unbearable. Thanks for sticking with me. We're going to cover everything I saw, so straight away, let's cover the first section of the demo, the open world. I got to play the game for about 45 minutes, and if you were at Gamescom, you got to play the open world section just like me. This Gotham is huge. Like, unbelievably big. We were only allowed to play within a certain section of the map, and throughout my gameplay, I couldn't even find the border of it. We were told to go around and use Batman's super sense to locate crime and other special objectives. The very first thing I did was mess around with the new grapple mechanic, and it's incredible. You can grapple to pretty much anything in the world, and from super far away too. On top of that, if you time a jump press as you hit your target, you get to launch off of it for extra gliding height. It's such a fun way to traverse, and I was quickly able to find enemies with the super sense and start my first bit of combat. This is nothing like the LEGO games you've played before. Everything about this game is so different, and that's especially evident when you get into a fight. There's dodge rolls, counters, and even attacks that you have to build up meter for that have really goofy effects, like a frying pan or a hammer, I think. There was a trash can too at some point. You're no longer just button mashing A or B, you're having to sort of strategize with how you want to approach. My favorite thing was using the grapple gun to pull ranged enemies in and throwing them across the map. It's so satisfying. At one point, I think I grappled the same guy twice in a row out of a throw. It's just so fun to how customizable every attack in this game is. Also, the dive bomb is great. It's overpowered and super fun to use. I ended up discovering some collectibles scattered throughout the map, like a rubber duck that I broke for some quests, and these things called Wayne Tech caches. We weren't told what these did, but I imagine it's for some kind of upgrade system down the road. Anyways, the open world wasn't the pole of this exclusive gameplay. It was the level we got to play. Ace Chemicals. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into what this means for the game, but it's inspired by Under the Red Hood, which proved my theory that this game isn't only about the main live-action movies, but it's pulling from tens of years of Batman's history. Only time will tell how large that scale truly is. Okay, so the level. Detective Gordon and Batman have to find out what the nefarious criminal Red Hood is up to, which starts with them analyzing the chemical compounds of these stuffed bears. This first section takes place in a closed-off portion of the map and has you fighting Red Hood goons and using your super sense to locate each bear stash. I got to use Gordon as my second player here, and his Arkham-inspired gel foam gun helped me block off tons of toxic tanks to reveal the first stash. To analyze them, you do a little minigame where you match the LEGO bricks to their silhouette in the menu. Out of all the small puzzles we've had to do over the years, this one was top-notch. It didn't feel redundant or like a waste of time, it was just a cute side mission. I did that for a stash hidden on this train car and then one more in the shipping container. One thing I really enjoyed about this section is how you can use the environment to sneak around and take out groups of enemies all at once. Like here I was able to hide in a sewage line to escape a ton of goons and sneak onto the train, and here I dropped a giant container onto a group of enemies, destroying them instantly. It was real satisfying. It's great to just feel rewarded for exploring your environment instead of rushing in head-on. The amount of enemies that I had to fight was initially worrisome, but once I realized that most of the encounters were optional, it sped up my journey quite a bit. It was also here that I realized I could change my outfit as Batman to a couple of previously unlocked options, so I of course chose the classic blue and gray and entered the factory. Already I was having a great time, and I wish I had some sort of face cam to prove how exciting this all was. I mean, not much could make a 9-hour flight, multiple delays, and jet lag worth it, but this game exceeds expectations. TT Games and Warner Bros., I can't thank you enough. Now it was time for the interior, and the very first mini-boss fight. It's against a giant Red Hood goon, and it's here where the game teaches you about stealth attacks, which I imagine will be pretty useful when the game is fully released, and so let me one-shot a lot of the smaller enemies around. This fight's pretty easy, you kinda just make him crash into some random objects and hit him while he's stunned. If this was like LEGO Marvel's Superheroes 2 or DC Supervillains, you'd have to lure him 3 times to get even a chance of hitting him, but here it's only 1. It's a much more streamlined and efficient approach, one that made me love the game that much more. There's no distracting camera pans, no overly long boss fights, and no needless time wasters. This is the sort of game I've been waiting for from TT for years. So far, I'd primarily only use Batman in this level. It's not like Gordon is worse or anything, but come on, it's Batman. Inside the lower factory, though, he was pretty useful. His foam gel gun lets you block off harmful pipes and reroute airflow to get to higher areas. You can also use it offensively to stun enemies. Gordon's other weapon is a ricochet bullet, which favors shooting in the direction of enemies. If you get a good angle with this thing, it melts, but I wasn't able to fully get it down on this brief playthrough. Anyways, the interior is pretty simple. You fight a few goons as you open up a path to the level's boss, Red Hood. I ended up discovering a new kind of collectible here called a Joker card, which is seemingly taking the place of minikits. That might be a bit controversial, but as I covered in my entire history of the minikit video, many games have drastically adjusted the minikit's design and even functionality, and I think this is an alright change. It gives the game more of an identity, you know? After a slightly more difficult mini-boss, you use a giant version of Jim's foam gun to block the chemicals that Red Hood is trying to mix, and start sort of a cat-and-mouse chase section trying to capture him. This section is pretty high octane and has you dodging missiles as you traverse a collapsing Ace chemicals. There's a lot of fun ways to move around the level, and it truly feels like you're on a time crunch. When you get to the section where hundreds of goons spawn in, it seems pretty overbearing, until you realize you can bait Red Hood's missiles into taking out the hordes of them. Genius way to add a climactic finish without making it a pain to beat. All in all, this was straight up incredible. I don't even have the words to explain it. It was so good I'm already comfortable calling this one of my favorite LEGO games just off of one level. There wasn't a moment in my time with the game where I felt frustrated, bored, or even indifferent. And you guys know how easy it is for me to get frustrated. The cutscenes are funny, the gameplay is slick, it looks clean, the character abilities are fun, the combat is the best we've had. I mean, guys, come on. It's an improvement in every way it can be. Seriously, I'm in awe. I'll be posting a very, very in-depth trailer analysis in a couple of days, as well as we'll talk more about my experience with the development team later down the road. So if you want to stay up to date on all this news, don't forget to subscribe. You can always change your mind later and it costs you nothing. That's all I have for now. Once again, thanks to Warner Bros. Games and TT for allowing me to experience this. Take care, and I hope you enjoyed the video.